Okay, now let's discuss the second part of this chapter, financial planning, which emphasize on the cash budget. Okay, so this cash budget is important tool in cash management. The cash budgeting is a detailed financial forecasting technique that identifies the cash receipt, which is cash inflows, money comes in, and disbursement, cash outflow relative to its amount and timings of occurrence. So normally for disbursement, cash disbursement ni, all the spending, all the expenses, we put it under cash disbursement. Okay, all the money received, you put it under cash receipts or cash inflows. Okay, and cash budget is constructed on the basis of monthly, weekly, or daily. Okay, so by using this tool, it enables you to give indications to the management of any shortage, cash deficit, or excess cash surplus. Okay, by using this tool, you will be able to know whether the cash in a cash in hand, I mean in the company, is experience shortage or in excess. Okay, it is also to help the financial managers to manage cash more effectively in order to maximize the firm's value. Alright, so in order to determine cash management, okay, so these are the strategy. Normally, when the company experience cash deficit, one of the solution is you can overcome the deficit by borrowings. Okay, when the company experience excess in cash, meaning that cash surplus, so the company can use the excess in cash for their investment. Okay, so let's look at the format. Okay, before we discuss further, let's look at the steps in developing cash budget. So these are the flow. Okay, so the first thing first is you have to determine the amount of uh, money and also timing of cash receipt. Okay, normally from cash sales, account receivable, and other non-operating income. So these are some examples for examples of items that we put under cash receipts. Okay, it can be in terms of your cash sales, account receivable, and non-operating income such as receipt of rental of properties. Okay, you ada sewakan apa asset you, so you will obtain income from rental. So this is something that items that you can put under cash receipts. Okay, dividends received from holding of another company's common stock. Okay, normally a firm can invest their money by buying common stock from other companies. So they will receive dividends. So this is dividends to the company. We put it also under cash receipts. Okay, next we determine the amount and timing of cash disbursement. Okay, this is cash receipt, this is cash disbursement. Okay, with cash outflow from operations and other bulk purchases. Okay, when you make purchase, you buy raw materials, you buy machines, so all those things is your will involve money out, meaning that you spend, you spend the cash. So cash spending, any cash spending, you will put it under cash disbursement. Okay, when you buy something for the company, for the operation of the company. Okay, for example, you buy machine or you buy raw materials, all those things will be put under cash disbursement. Okay, and next you will determine the net cash flow. How to calculate net cash flow? Net cash flows equal to total cash receipts minus with total cash disbursement. So you will get, this is to determine whether the company experience cash deficit or cash surplus. Okay, so net cash flow is important for you to determine whether you will get cash deficit or cash deficit or cash surplus. Okay, next you have to prepare the cash reconciliation accounts. It takes into account the net cash flow, beginning cash balance, and minimum cash requirement. Normally, the question will tells you what are the minimum amount that the company what are the minimum cash amount that the company need to maintain. Okay, and the cash reconciliation provides necessary information for the firm to develop its short-term financing and investment strategies. Okay, now okay, these are the example format of cash budget. Okay, you can have a look at the items. Cash receipt, what are the items? Maybe you receive in terms of fees, rentals, or whatever lah, salary, grants. Okay, this is grants, meaning that something that you receive. But if it is salaries to your workers, it is cash disbursement. Okay, okay, grants lain grants something yang you dapat, you receive money maybe from government or whatever. So this is under cash inflow. But if salaries you paid to the workers, this is considered as a cash outflow, cash paid out, or cash disbursement. Okay, and also you paid benefits, commission, whatever you have to spend, it will be under the cash disbursement. Okay, food, audit, place supplies, or buying raw materials, purchase, or whatever lah. Okay, so this is you would like to determine the net cash flow just now, excess of cash received over the cash paid out. So you will get whether it is surplus or deficit. So if it is in a positive amount like this, normally it is cash surplus. But if it is become negative, normally this indicates the cash deficit. Okay, let's look at the other example. Just now I just showing you the format. Okay, now let's look at the example of one question. Okay, preparation of cash budget. Okay, so under this question, you are required to prepare NCY Sdn Bhd cash budget for the first quarter of 2015. So NCY Sdn Bhd is the name of the company. So you need to prepare this company's cash budget for the first quarter of 2015. So first quarter meaning that January, February, and March 2015. Okay, make sure you know what is first quarter. Okay, so these are the information given to you. Okay, this is the amount of sales and the month. Okay, we are going to look at basically we need to focus on these three, isn't it? First quarter. Okay, this is referring to the first quarter of 2015. But this question also provides you with the information of previous month. Okay, last year punya. See, December 2014, November 2014, and October 2014. The reason is we are going to use all this information in order to prepare the cash budget for these 3 months. Okay, same goes to April 2015. Even though this month is not included under first quarter of 2015, but we have some items that we need to basically taken from this following months. Okay, so let's look at the additional information given here. Okay, before you can prepare the cash budget, you need to go through the information. Okay, cash sales are 50% of total sales. Okay, so when meaning that the sales the rest of sales will be in credit, meaning that only 50% will be paid in cash from your sales too. You only receive 50% cash, the other 50% you will receive in credit. Okay, so 60% collects 1 month after, and 40% collects 2 months after sales, meaning that, okay, this is collect 1 month after and collect 2 months after is referring to your credit sales. Okay, your credit sales. So we are going to look at the example of answer after this. Okay, just look at the information given here. Materials are purchased 1 month before sales, meaning that if you okay, if the sales in okay, let's say you want to purchase for January, meaning that you bought it in December. Okay, meaning that you buy you bought the material 1 month before sales, 40%. Okay, and 50% you paid in cash, and the balance will be paid equally in the next 2 months, meaning that in 2 months time, if you paid 50% in cash, meaning that another 50% will be in credit. So this 50% you will pay in next 2 months, meaning that 25% for the first 2 months, for the first after 1 month, and another 25% will be paid in the other month, because 2 months, in the next 2 months, let's say you pay cash. Okay, you pay in cash for January, let's say 50%. So next you pay the rest next 2 months. Do you pay the rest, following the following 2 months, meaning that another 50% you have to you will pay in February and March equally, meaning that 25% in February and the other 25% in March. Okay, it's okay if you don't get the point right now. You later on I will show you how we derive the figures. Okay, and then fixed expenses, depreciation 300, rent 400, selling and administration 200, interest on long-term debt 100. So where we are going to put all these expenses? Expenses referring to the money's out, money out. So when money out, it will fall under cash outflow. Okay, buy new machine at 2,300 and pays 20% in January. The balance will be paid in February. Okay, meaning that 20% in January, 80% will be paid in February. So you have to be careful with all the information given here. Cash balance in December is 500 ringgit, and the minimum cash balance is set 500 ringgit. So the company need to maintain every month. The company must make sure that their cash balance at least reach 500 ringgit. Okay, any short-term borrowing cost 10%. Okay, this is the interest rate if the company need to borrow. Okay, let's look at the the answer. So now okay, let's look at the cash receipt first. Okay, cash receipt, normally the first item will be the sales lah. Okay, you only sales is your income, isn't it? So how do you get this amount? It is already given in the question, isn't it? Okay, this amount 2,000, 3,000, and 2,500 because we are focusing on these 3 months, first quarter. Okay, so the information given to you say that cash sales is 50%. So 50% of 2,000 will be 1,000, and for February only 50% in cash. So 50% out of 3,000 you will get 1,500. Okay, same goes to March. The sales is 2,500 but only 50% paid in cash. So meaning that 50% of 2,500, meaning that the cash sales 1,250. Okay, so the balance amount for the cash for the sales will be paid in credit. Okay, so basically, okay, what is the amount? So the 50% is in credit, the other 50%. Okay, the other 50% is in credit. Oops, sorry. So 50% in cash, the other 50% in credit. So meaning that if it is 1,000 in cash, meaning that another 1,000 will be paid in credit, isn't it? Okay, so you know that the balance is 1,000, but only 60% of 1,000. So meaning that here credit 50% is 1,000, isn't it? Only 60% will be paid for the first month. The following month. So 1,000 times with 60%, you will get 600, isn't it? Okay, meaning that if you look at the question, okay, 60% collects 1 month after, meaning that the balance, okay, will be paid 60% in 1 month after, meaning this is in February. Okay, this 60% of sales ni, of the credit sales, 60% of the credit sales will be paid in February. Okay, so 600. Okay, and the other 40% out of 1,000 credit sales, you will get how much? You will get 400. So this 400 you will pay in March. Okay, so this basically this is example for January. Okay, so January cash sales 1,000, 50%, how you get 1,000? 50% times with 2,000 sales. And for your credit sales, 1 month after, isn't it? 1 month after is 60%. So 60% times with 1,000, because this is the 1,000 is the balance of credit sales, isn't it? So 60% times with 1,000, you will get 600, which will be paid in February. And the balance 40% will be paid in the following month, which is March. Okay, the second month, so it will be in March. So how you get 400? 400 is when 40% times with 1,000, the balance of credit sales ni. Okay, so same goes, where do you get these items? 500. This actually from the previous month. So I think I need to show you the working, just to make sure that you know. Okay, this how I think this is one of the illustration that can help you to understand more. Okay, so just now I've shown you that the flow, isn't it? Okay, these are the cash sales. Okay, these are the cash sales, and these are the credit sales. Because okay, for January 1,000 in cash, and the balance 1,000 is in credit, 50% just now, isn't it? So from 1,000, okay, out of from 1,000, 60% will be paid next month, meaning that 60% times 1,000, you will get 600, which is paid in February. Okay, 1 month after. And the balance, okay, because the credit sale is 1,000, isn't it? So you pay 600 in February. The balance 400 you will pay in March. Okay, here 2 months after, 40%, 2 months after. So the balance will be paid in March. Okay, clear this one? This is for January. This is the flow lah. Okay, how do you get this amount? 960 ringgit. 960 ringgit is from the previous month transaction. Okay, you know that in December, that's why the question give to you the previous month's data. Even though you only need to focus on these three, but you still need the information of previous month because of this item lah, you need to put credit, especially for credit sales. Where you get this 960 ringgit ni? It comes from the credit sales of previous month. Okay, because in December the total sales is 3,200, but okay, again only 50% made in cash. So 50% of 3,200 is 1,600. So the balance will be paid in credit, isn't it? Equal amount because 50%. So 1,600 paid in cash, and another 1,600 will be paid in credit. Okay, again this 1,600 is this 1,600 will be paid in 2 months time, meaning that 60% will be paid in January, okay, and the rest, the balance will be paid in February, because in 2 months time, okay, dalam masa 2 bulan, meaning that hutang ni, credit is hutang actually, dia bayar lambat. Okay, so balance credit ni 1,600 kan, so 60% daripada 1,600 ni dibayar pada 1 month after, sebulan selepas itu. So 60% darab, multiply with 1,600, you will get 960. So this is the 60%. What about the other 40%? 40% ni, you multiply with 1,600, you will get 640. So the balance will be paid in February. Understand? Okay? Alright. Why do we need November amount, November details? Because we need to put in January for credit sales, 2 months after. So how did you get 500? It's come from November, because November sales, the total sales is 2,500. Okay, meaning that the cash sales only 1,250, because only half of this paid in cash. So the other half, the other 40%, the other 50% will be paid in credit. So 1,250. So 1,250 again, 60% will be paid in December. 1 month after is December. So 60% times 1,250, you will get 750. ringgit, 750 ringgit. This one doesn't matter, but the most important is you want to look at after 2 months. Okay, the second month 40% ni, the balance of credit sales for November will be paid in January, because this is our main concern, January. Okay, these are our main concern, January. So how do we get this figure? It comes from balance of credit sales 40% from November ni. Okay, 40% times with total credit sales 1250, you will get 500, which is which will be paid in January. Okay, alright, same goes to February. Okay, February, currently the sales, okay, for February the total sales is 3000, and only half of the sales will be paid in cash, 50%, isn't it? So 50% of 3000, you will get 1500. So the balance will be paid in credit. Ni tengok, all this is in credit. So these are the total credits. Okay, make sure you know. Okay, this is the amount. Sorry. Okay. This is the amount of cash sales. Okay, this is the blue one that I have underlined here, is refer to your cash sales, and the balance will be your cash credit. Your credit sales. Okay, sorry. These are cash sales, and this one is for credit sales. So in order for you to calculate the amount for 1 month and 2 months after, you have to refer to the amount of credit sales, not referring to this one. This one is in cash, so it is already settled on the current month. So this one is easy, because it is paid in the same month. Okay, the transaction happen during the during the same month where the sales occur. Okay, meaning that if in February sales are 3000, you paid in February 1500. This is meaning that you receive cash in the same month. Okay, so the rest, the balance, that unpaid balance ni, the other 50% ni, you will pay them in the next following month, meaning that in March and also in April lah. But we don't show April here because we only focus on these 3 months. Okay, again, these 3 months we are only concerned with the we only concerned with this first quarter. So we need to fill up all the figures for these 3 months. Okay, so again, the credit sales for February is 1500. So this will be paid in the next 2 following month. Okay, so next 2 months, it is not next 2 months, meaning that in 2 months time. Okay, in March and April. Okay, so in March, how much we need to pay? The company need to pay in March. It is 60% out of 1500. So 60% times 1500, you will get 900 ringgit, which will be paid in March. The balance will be paid in April, but we didn't put it here because we only want to focus on these first 3 quarters. Okay, so next let's look at the amount here, 2 months for credit sales ni. Where do you get 640 ni? 640 actually payment for 2 month, 2 previous month. 2 previous month, meaning that January, December. Okay, credit sales for December. So credit sales for December is 1,600 times with 40%. You will get the amount is 640 ringgit. Meaning that you pay 640 ringgit ni for the credit sales in December. Okay? Okay. Next we look at the March, for March. Okay, March the total sales 2,500 and 50% paid in cash. So meaning that 1,250 paid in the index 1,250 paid in the in March. Okay, and the balance is the unpaid balance we consider as a credit sales. So the amount is 1,250 because 50%, isn't it? So this amount will not be paid in the same month. This will be paid in April and also May. Okay, so we don't have to calculate for this one because we don't include April and May. But we are going to look at this one, credit sales for previous month. Okay, where do you get 900 ringgit ni? 900 ringgit just now is 60% of previous credit sales, which is in February. So credit sales is 1,500. So 60% out of 1,500, you will get 900 just now. Okay, this is for the first month. The previous first month. Okay, and the next column, the next row is for the amount of credit sales for last 2 months. Meaning that February, it refers to January. Okay, so January credit sales is 1,000. So 40% from 1,000 is 400. Okay, so you will get the complete amount of cash receipt for these 3 months. Okay, for the first quarter of 2015. So what you have to do next? You have to total up all the cash receipt for January, February and March. So you will get, for January, the total cash receipt will be 2,460. Okay, for February 2,750 and March is 2,550. So all these are the cash inflows. Okay, money comes in. Alright, this is how you get the answer here. Okay, so I just now I'm showing I show you the working. Okay, how you get the answer. Okay, so let's look at the cash disbursement. It is quite complicated, but you need to be careful. You just always refer to the information given to you, okay, in order to construct the cash budget. Okay, for cash disbursement, the purchase of materials is 40%. Okay, and the cash payment is 50%. So how we are going to do this one? Let's look at the working. Okay, so the amount of purchase is 40% from the sales 1 month before sales, meaning that how you get this amount 1,200. You have to look at the sales of previous month, 1 month before January, which is December. Okay, what are the sales? What the amount of sales for January? For December. We have to refer to the original question. So you have to look at the original question. The amount of sales for December is 3,200, isn't it? 3,200. So 40% of this amount. 40% of 3,200. Hold on. Okay, sorry. Let me explain again for cash disbursement. Alright. For purchase of materials, you bought the materials in advance. In advance, meaning that if you want to purchase, meaning that for January, the materials for January, you bought it in December. Okay? Okay, for February, materials, materials for February, you bought it a month before in January. Because you want to produce the output, isn't it? You want to, you nak jual February, so you beli the raw materials sebelum February, meaning that in January. Okay? Same goes to March. Okay? Meaning that for March, purchase for March, you do it you do it in February. You purchase in February. Okay? So how you get this amount 1,200? 1,200 is basically you purchase for February. You buy it in advance. Okay, you beli sebelum you jual. Okay, so you from I mean 1 month before sales. 1 month before sales. 40% you buy it before sales. So how did they get this amount 1,200 ni? 1,200 is actually 40% of February sales because you buy it in advance. So let's look at February sales. Total sales for February is, what is the total sales of February? Okay, please take note. Total sales for February is 3,000. So you purchase in January, isn't it? You have to purchase in January, 1 month before sales, meaning that January. Okay, the sales occur in February, so you purchase 40% of the raw materials in January. So 40% of 3,000. 40% of 3,000 is 1,200. 1,200. Here, 1,200. Okay, you refer to the sales in February. What about purchase in February? 1,000. Purchase in February comes from 40% of sales in March. 40% of sales in March because 1,000 ni you buy the materials untuk March actually, for March. So you buy earlier, 1 month before sales. Okay, you buy earlier. So this 1,000 is 40% of March total sales. So total sales for March is actually how much? Total sales of March is 2,500, isn't it? 2,500. So 2,500, 40% of 2,500, you will get, how much you get? 40%. 40% of 2,500. You will get 1,000, isn't it? Okay, this amount 1,000. So what about purchase for March? Purchase for March is made for April. So you need to have the amount of sales in April. Okay, so you need to refer April's total sales. April total sales is already given in the question. Okay, here April 3,500. So this is total sales in April, and you purchase the raw materials in March. 40% out of the total sales in April. So 40% of 3,500, you will get 1,400. 1,400 here. Okay, 1,400. This one. Okay, you take it from sales in April. You tarik 40% from there. Okay? Okay. So next, cash payment made 50%. Okay, 50%. Only 50% you pay in cash. Sekarang ni you yang berhutang pula. You beli these materials 1,200, 1,000, 1,400. Okay, these are the purchase that you made. But you pay only 50% in cash. So meaning that for January, you only pay 600 for the material purchase. Why you pay 600? Because only 50%. So 50% out of 50% of 1,200, meaning that 600. 600 is the amount that you paid in cash. Okay? So your credit payment will be 600. Okay? Your credit payment will be 600. Okay, what about February? February, 1,000 is your total purchase, and 50% paid in the same month. 50% you paid in the same month. So 50% of 1,500 lah. So the balance you will be paid in credit. So later on we are going to look at how you are going to pay in credit ni. Okay, so March 50% in cash. Okay, so 50% times 1,400, which is 700. So 700 you paid in March. You pay in March, the same month. But the balance, another 700, you pay in credit. So let's look at the credit payment. When you are going to pay your credit purchase. Okay, when you are going to pay your credit purchase, this amount. Okay, so 1 month 50%, 1 month after, meaning that 600, okay, from 600 credit payment in January, you paid 50% in February. So 50% of 600, you will get 300, isn't it? So 300 ni you bayar in February. The balance 50% ni 2 months after, you will pay 50% of 600, you will get 300 kan. The balance 300 you will pay in March. Boleh? We are talking about credit payment. Yang ni dah settle ni. Cash payment ni you don't have to think about this. You only our concern here is your balance ni, yang unpaid ni. Credit ni. So credit ni, from this total credit, 50% paid 1 month after, and another 50% 2 months after. So for this amount credit payment in January ni, 50% is 300 kan? 300 bayar pada February, balance lagi 300 you bayar in March. Boleh? Pembayaran in March. Okay, so same goes to February. Okay, kalau you tengok February ni ada balance 500 kan? You hutang. You hutang dengan supplier 500. So you bayar this 500, separuh daripada 500 ni, 50% ni you bayar in March, which is 250. Sebab 50% of 500 is 250. So another 250 you akan bayar in April. Sorry. Okay, so this the balance 250 lagi ni you akan bayar in April. Tapi kita tak, it is not appear here because we only want to get total cash disbursement for January, February, March again. Okay, so kita stop kat sini je lah. Okay, you tengok pula 2 months, row for 2 months credit payment ni. 2 month. So second month, for second month. Ni second month ni actually comes from credit payment for November. Okay, November. Boleh? November ni dia punya credit payment, total credit payment is 640 kan? 640 ni 50% you dah bayar pada December. So balance another 50% which is 320 juga you bayar in January. Boleh? Okay? So yang ni you tahu kat mana tadi? For February ni, second month ni you pay for what? You pay for December. Sebab this one is credit payment for the 2 previous month, for the last 2 months. Okay? Maksudnya last 2 months, January, December lah. Credit payment for December. Okay? You bayar 50% in January. The balance 50% you bayar in February. Okay? Alright? So yang untuk March pula, 300 ni you paid for last 2 months punya credit payment. So last 2 months for March is February, January tadilah. Kan? Last 2 months for March is February, January. So January is the apa panggil? 2 previous month lah. Okay? So January punya 600 ni you dah bayar 300 in February, the balance is in March. Okay. Itu sahaja untuk kredit. Okay. Next, kita ada item lain. Selain daripada purchasing. Okay. Under cash disbursement ni ada information given to you. Rental. Kan? Dia ada sebut sini. Fixed expenses just now. Okay. You have to look at the information. For cash receipt, it does, you only concern about the cash sales sebab tak ada any other income yang lain kan. Ada, kalau dikata ada rental semua, you kena masuk dalam cash receipt lah. But here dia ada bagi additional fixed expenses. Depreciation 300, rent 400, selling and administration 200, interest on long term debt 100. So all these expenses you will include them under cash disbursement except depreciation 300. Kita tak include depreciation. Why depreciation will not be included? This amount 300 will not be included in the cash disbursement because depreciation is non-cash item, non-cash expenses. Dia tidak melibatkan cash. Depreciation bukannya duit you yang keluar 300 ni, dia hanyalah susut nilai. So this basically this value we are not going to include under our cash flow statement. Okay? Because it doesn't involve any cash transaction. Duit bukan you bayar pun depreciation ni. You don't have to pay 300 ni. It just show you the value, apa panggil, susut nilai sahaja. Depreciation in value, but in actual this 300 ni bukannya you keluarkan duit pun. So this considered as non-cash expense. So we are not going to include this 300 under the cash flow or cash disbursement. So we only concern about the other items such as rent, selling, administration, okay, interest. So that's why all this figure we include under our cash outflow sini. Nampak ni, rent 400, selling administration 200, interest 100. So we consider semua ni tak ada perubahan lah. Okay, because rental normally fixed kan. Sebab dia kata fixed expenses. So meaning that all these items, all these expenses is fixed for constant for each month. Okay. So yang ni you don't have to worry, you just put all the figures. You only need to identify je yang ni masuk kat mana. Kalau katalah rental income, you kena masuk under cash receipt. But this one, you pay the rent because expenses. Okay, in the question mention rent is under your fixed expenses. So that's why when it comes to its expenses, you have to put it under cash disbursement. Okay, you pay for it. Okay, and purchase of machinery. Ada purchase of machinery ni dia ada mention you purchase in okay, you refer here. You buy new machine at 2,300, you pay 20% in January. So 20% of 2,300, how much everyone? 2,300 times with 20%, so 460. 460 ringgit you pay in January and the balance in the February. So that's why you tengok kat sini, you punya cash disbursement kat sini kan, you ada figure 460. So 460 paid in January. So balance lagi 1,840 ni, balance payment for the machine ni you will pay in February. Ada tak much? Tak ada. Okay, so all these items yang you dapat ni, you total up again, you akan dapat total cash disbursement for January, February and March. Boleh? Samalah ni jawapan dia dengan kat sini. I tak discuss this one because I nak show you the working first. Okay, so here rent, selling, administration and interest are fixed payment. So that's why the amount is constant. Alright. Okay. So the next step will be you have to calculate the net cash flow. So how you going to get this amount? Net cash flow for January, February, March ni. You kena ambil total receipt tadi, cash receipt minus with total cash disbursement tadi. Total cash receipt minus total cash disbursement. So how you get 180 ni, you have to refer to the amount of cash receipt first. Cash receipt, your cash receipt, amount of cash receipt is for January 2,460. Ni amount of cash receipt 2,460. Then you minus, you have to minus the cash disbursement for January, which is 2,280. So you will get this amount 180 tadi. This one, this amount 180 ni. Alright. Okay, for February, okay, for February ni sama juga. February you dapat cash deficit kat sini sebab negatif. Yang ni positif. Why you get negative? Because your cash disbursement is higher than your cash receipt. Nak tahu betul ke tidak, you tengok. You punya cash receipt berapa. Cash receipt in February. Okay, cash receipt in that February you ada 2,740 ringgit. 2,740 ringgit. Okay, minus with your cash disbursement for February, which is 3,540 ringgit. Yang mana lagi besar? Of course lah, cash disbursement. So that's why you dapat deficit tadi. Deficit of 800 because your expenses tu melebihi your income, your receipt. Okay. But again, for March, you dapat positive amount 600 sebab your cash receipt in March berapa? Cash receipt in March you dapat 2,550. So 2,550 minus with your cash disbursement in March 1,950. That's why you ada lebihan 600. You ada lebihan 600. Okay? Boleh? Okay. So next you have to do the cash reconciliation. You dah tahu, you dah dapat dah net cash flow for each month. So you tengok balik, ada tak nak kena borrowing? Yes, you need to borrow sebab you ada experience deficit kat sini. Tapi nanti later on yang ni. You look at the beginning cash balance dulu. Beginning cash balance ada 500. Mana you dapat 500 ni? 500 is actually from the information given for information given here. Ni. Dia ada cash balance in December is 500 ringgit. Itu jadi your beginning cash balance. So you punya balance in December is 500, December 2014 ni, you carry forward to January. So beginning cash balance you adalah 500. Okay, and minimum cash balance is also 500. So you tengok kat sini nanti. You tengok balik. Okay. Okay, here. Beginning cash balance ni you ambil from December tadi. Balance in December 500 tu you bring forward. So this will be your beginning cash balance 500. Ending cash balance, this beginning cash balance 500 plus with your net cash flow 180 ringgit ni, you will get ending cash balance you sekarang. Cash yang you ada, okay, you ambil balance 500 tadi yang mula-mula you dapat daripada December tadi, you tambahkan dengan net cash flow pada January 180. So your ending cash balance will be 680 ringgit. For January ini adalah cash yang you ada at the end of January 680 ringgit. Okay, 680 ringgit. So you have to minus the minimum cash balance required by the firm, required from firm. So firms kena maintain 500. Okay, so you tolak kat sini, you akan dapat lagi excess. Meaning that you melepasi requirement. Requirement hanya perlukan minimum you kena ada 500 at least cash. Tapi you dah melepasi the target. So you ada dia ada lagi excess 180 ringgit. Which is good lah, good indicator. Maksudnya you surpass the target. The minimum target. Minimum target is only 500 but you obtain more than 500 lah, which is in excess 180. Okay, let's look at February. February ni you dapat negatif kan? So tapi mana you dapat 680 ni? 680 ni you bring forward ni, ending cash balance in January you bring forward to February. So this will be ending cash balance for January will be your beginning balance for February. Yang ni you bawa hujung December ni bawa ke depan untuk February. So beginning cash balance for February 680 ringgit. Okay, but ending cash balance kenapa jadi negatif? Sebab you dapat net cash flow negatif 800 ni kan. So 800 negative 800 plus with beginning cash balance 680, actually you punya ending cash balance is negative 120. Sebab you punya balance lagi sikit daripada you punya net cash flow on this month. Okay, so that's why kat sini negative 120. So you actually the requirement to maintain 500. Sekarang ni 500 ni pun tak maintain. Jadi you actually you kena cari lagi 500 dan juga ni yang deficit ni 120. So total deficit kat sini ialah 620 ringgit. Okay? Okay, sebab yang ni you tak tercapai ni. So you hutang juga. So hutang ni maksudnya deficit ni kan. So amount of deficit will be 620 ringgit lah. Sebab negatif kan. Negatif you akan dapat negatif juga. Sebab you less ni. You have to minus ni sebenarnya. Okay. So negative 120 minus 500 you will get negative 620. So 620 ni your deficit. So what about what will be the beginning cash balance for March? You start March dengan negatif lah. Sebab you tak balance tu yang you bawa ni ending ni ialah negatif. Negative 120. So this one will carry forward to March. Okay, 120. So 120 ni you need to you kena pinjam. in order for you to recover balik lah you punya ni kan. So you tahu you punya deficit tadi 620 ni kan, you have to borrow. So you borrow let's say 1 month kan, you nak borrow kan 1 month. Okay, so darab dengan 10%. 10% ni actually is your cost of borrowing ni, short term borrowing. Here, this one, any short term borrowing cost 10%. So you kena pinjam sebab you dah ada deficit kat sini, right? So in order to fix this problem deficit ni, you kena pinjam. So you pinjam 620 times with 10% interest, darab dengan 1/12 sebab 1 ni ialah 1 month. Okay, you bahagikan dengan 12 months. So 1/12. So you will get how much interest on borrowing? 620 multiply with 10% multiply with 1/12, you will get 5 ringgit 20 sen. So this is the interest. Jadi you punya ending cash balance will become how much you have to bear. Since you kena tengok kat sini tau. You ada 600 kat sini. Net cash flow you. So 600 tolak dengan interest RM5.20 sebab ni cost kat you kan, less. You tolak RM5.20, you tolak dengan beginning cash balance 120 ni kan, you will get RM474.80. Okay, 600 from your net cash flow ni positive amount kan, tapi since you kena pinjam, you kena bayar interest RM5.20. Okay, you minus 5 ringgit 20 sen and minus your your beginning cash balance. You have to plus, tapi plus negatif, you akan dapat negatif juga. So that's why your ending cash balance is RM474.80. Okay, you kena tengok sign kat sini. Less maksudnya you minus, plus you kena tambah. Tapi since kat sini 600 kan, 600, okay, ni amount ni 600, mana 600 ni, amount 600 ni minus cost of borrowing, interest lah. Okay, 600 minus with 5 ringgit 20 sen, you will get 594 ringgit 80 sen. This 594 ringgit 80 sen you kena plus with beginning cash balance which is negative 120. So plus minus will be minus lah kan. So you kena tolak lah sebab the sign here is negative. Okay, walaupun tambah tapi tambah dengan plus and plus minus will be minus. So you akan dapat amount dia kat sini, ending cash balance you RM474.80. Tapi dia tak meet the minimum cash balance. Minimum cash balance is 500. You dapat less than 500. So berapa yang you punya deficit kat sini? Because ending cash balance less, meaning that you have to minus minimum cash balance. Requirement dia 500. So you kurang berapa lagi? Berapa yang you kena top up lagi? Sebab you punya requirement minimum cash balance is 500. But you only get at the end of March, you only obtain RM474.80. So berapa lagi tak cukup? Tak cukup lagi, RM25.20. Boleh? So ni lah dia punya cara dia lah. Okay? So how to get excess or deficit kat sini, surplus or deficit ni, ending cash balance minus with minimum cash balance. Ni. Okay. Boleh? You have to look at the information. So okay, these are the guidelines for cash budgeting. Okay, total all the percentage of collection of sales. Okay, berapa you nak tahu collection sales, cash sales berapa persen kan? If more than 1%, 100% should separate between cash and credit. Meaning that cash is cash and balance of credit should be 100%. Apa maksud dia kat sini? Okay, I give you one example. Kalau kat sini, let's say tadi, kan, if you look at this information, I show you the example here. Okay, the example here, dia kata cash 50%. And then, kalau you tengok dekat credit sales ni, balance dia ni 60-40%, which is more than 100%, isn't it? Kalau you tambahkan lah, you punya percentage ni, 50 plus 60 plus 40, it will become 150%, isn't it? Jadi, it will be more than 100%. So, that's why we separate it. Kita apa panggil? Kita asingkan dia. Meaning that cash is cash. 50% kita dapatkan daripada total sales ni. So you akan dapat amount of cash sales. So another 50% ni kita jadikan dia 100%. Maksudnya kita tak campur dengan yang 50% ni. Meaning that this one will be 100%. 100%. Jadi 60% from 100%. 40% from 100%. Understand? Maksudnya yang ni kita tak involve yang percentage in cash sales. Okay? We do it separately. Even though ini adalah 50% of sales, okay, tapi kita this amount ni now will become 100% sebab 60% 40%. So 60% from total credit payment, 40% from total credit payment, sama juga 60% from total credit payment kat sini for December, 40% from the total credit payment. So this one will be 100% again lah for credit sales. Sama juga dengan kalau you tengok kat disbursement. Okay, disbursement kat sini kan 50% cash payment, another 50% will be in credit payment, isn't it? Tapi yang ni kan kalau you tambahkan 50%, 50%, 50%, it will become more than 100%. So that's why we separate it. Cash is cash. Ni semua cash. Yang kat bawah ni another 50% ni semua kredit kan. So whenever you want to calculate the amount of credit payment, you just refer to this row. Okay, this will become your 100%. So meaning that 50% out of 640, another 50% out of this amount. You don't refer to cash payment anymore. Okay, we don't involve any cash payment. We just look at the credit payment kat sini. We consider yang ni 100%. So this percentage will refer to this row. Okay, itu maksud dia kat sini. Itu yang dimaksudkan if more than 1% should separate between cash and credit. If less, you can directly collect from sales lah. Okay. Okay. If you come across the word bad debt, the percentage of bad debt, you will not include in your calculation. You boleh tengok nanti ada past semester yang given to you the amount of bad debt, percentage of bad debt. So percentage for bad debt ni we will not include them in your calculation in cash budget. Okay? Alright. So that's all for cash budget. I've included some. Okay, ni sama jugalah ni. Purchasing raw materials ni based on sales of prediction must be purchased before preceding of sales. Ni kalau kata 1 month before sales tadi kan. Okay, or depend on the questions. You have to look at your the information given in the question. Okay, amount of purchasing, for example, 40% of sales must be converted into 100% for the payment. Maksudnya tadi kan kita buat cash disbursement 40% kan, 40% 1 month before sales ni. So this will be your 100%. You dapatkan 40% ni from the sales kan. Okay. Tapi once you dah dapat figure ni, ini akan jadi 100% untuk your cash payment or credit payment ni. Maksudnya ni 1,200, 50% is 600. Okay, credit payment pun another 600. Boleh? So this will be your 100%. Ni semua ni 1,000 kan? 50% 500, another 50% 500. So 1,000 is your 100%. Okay, sama juga, same goes for March. Itu maksud dia. Okay. So purchase of raw materials. Okay, you have to refer to the question. Okay, I have included ni actually handwritten punya ni. You boleh tengok lah ni actually the example. Tapi sama je. Okay, I think you can go through. Okay, if you don't understand, if it's not clear for you, you can ask me lah. Okay, this is just for your reference lah. Okay, yang ni digunakan percentage je yang berbeza. Okay, alright. Okay, so I think that's all for cash budget. Okay, thank you. So if you have any question, you can start doing exercises in past semester question to reinforce your understanding. Okay, so we'll discuss the question in our live meeting. Okay, thank you.